Stooks and Bell. And joining us right now to talk a little bit more about his experience under Coach Dean Smith, former Tar Heel and NBA star Jerry Stackhouse, joining us on the waitforward.com hotline. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, fellas, how you guys?
We're doing well, man. Just trying to get, more perspective on Coach Smith and, hearing the stories from former players like yourself and just getting, more insight into what a wonderful man this guy was.
Yeah, I don't know if we got enough time to put into words what Coach Smith meant to so many people, obviously the players, but just to that whole state, to, Tar Heel fans across the country. I just think he represented what was right about, college basketball, the kind of the purity, the sanctity of the game, and it's just a big loss for everybody. I had so many, stories with Coach Smith of just how he helped me, and to learn the game, really teaching me the game, teaching me how to play with other great players, and it really just helped me translate my game and what I knew and understood from him into the pro game, and obviously helped me play a long time and be able to adjust to a lot of different situations that were thrown my way.
All-American in 95, a two-time All-Star. Jerry Stackhouse with us here on the waitforward.com hotline. Jerry, I guess growing up in Carolina, was it open recruiting, or did you always want to go play for Dean?
Well, no, during that time, NC State had a big run. As kids, you was watching the Jim Valvano. I think his personality, his charisma was something that kids looked up to. Obviously, North Carolina was right there. I was a big Georgetown fan growing up. So, I was all over the place as far as the recruitment. But when it really came down to it and understanding, it was just a weird dynamic during the recruitment period. I always had something.
We're talking with Jerry Stackhouse here on Sports Radio 92.9. The Game is his phone's going out on him there. We'll get a better connection here in 1 second. It's Stooks and Bell, and get back to Jerry talking about Coach Dean Smith and what made his decision to go play for Coach Smith in just a second. Mike, when you talk about Dean Smith, people talk about Charlie Scott, who we'll have a chance to visit with next hour on the program, who was the first African-American at a Southern university in a segregated South at North Carolina and playing basketball. But Phil Ford in the 70s also helped put UNC on the map. And, you've got all these great players that went through UNC. But like Jerry, he was able to find a way to make all these great players play together. Let's get Jerry Stackhouse back on the line. Jerry, we lost your phone connection there for a second. You were talking about being recruited by Coach Smith.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just the whole process of going in there. Because I was all over the place as far as just everybody was talking about North Carolina, the system, and how it was going to hold you back, and freshmen really don't play. And instead of me buying into that, I bought into the fact that I'm be able to do something somebody else has done if that was the case. And, Coach Smith, he never promised anything, even in the recruiting process. It was like you come here, you earn your time, and you're going to play. And I just kind of, fell more to that than everything being promised to me, and it worked out.
It's Jerry Stackhouse with us as we're talking about Dean Smith's legacy today as he passed away at age 83. And obviously you're hearing all the basketball world pouring out their feelings about Coach. What was it like? I guess there's a knock on Coach that he was too conservative. I guess by the time you got there, he was kind of letting you do your thing, though, right? Because after the Michael Jordan experience, you were kind of the next Jordan guy.
Well, I think it was, Coach had a philosophy of still breaking you down. I think I was under the mindset that I was going to come in and be the, national freshman of the year. I was seeing Joe Smith had that success in Maryland, and I felt like I could be having that same success. But obviously, we were a differently shaped team. We had a bunch of seniors that had just won the national championship the year before, and then you had a talented group of freshmen, and being able to try to blend that. There were growing pains in that, obviously, and I think Coach Smith helped to massage those situations. We were a really, really talented group that was going after these guys every day in practice, and then when it comes down to the game, you have to figure out minutes for everybody. And I think that I was in his office talking to his coach. I feel like he needs more minutes, and he told me, playing, you need to try to focus on you and Brian Reese together being the best, small forward combination in the country. And that's going to help our team. But obviously, as a 18-year-old, I felt like I wanted to be the best small forward in the country by myself. And I think that just those lessons, learning how to, to make sacrifices and, knowing that my time was coming. And, there were a lot of ups and downs with that. tell people that come after a lot of games, you know, I was coming back like I need to play somewhere else. I mean, I missed it. And like there was one big turning point was my mom. I was telling her that I was tired of this, I was sick of this, and she just told me, if you start running now, you'll run forever. And that just stuck with me, and I stuck with it. And 3 weeks later, man, I'm the most valuable player, one of only 3 freshmen to ever get the most outstanding player in the ACC tournament. So, I mean, I just think that was a big lesson to me because she saw it. I wasn't able to see it as an 18-year-old. She saw it that he was preparing me. He was taking, me through different things, different tests that would help me later on down the road, and I'm glad she did.
Jerry Stackhouse on the waitforward.com hotline, remembering the great Dean Smith here on Dukes and Bell. Jerry, did he have a lighter side? I mean, obviously you guys spent a lot of private time together. Was he jovial and joking a lot, or was he always serious?
No, Coach was fun. And, he was funny in his own, certain way, man. I think he loved to, loved to joke. He loved to pick on Coach Gutt. That was one of his, favorite people to pick on. It's like he was always, wherever they was driving somewhere or something, he was always trying to tell Coach Gutt where to go. It's somewhere on campus. And, Coach Gutt was like, I think I'm going to go through Carborough this time, like I don't know where we're going after been going to the same places for the last 20 years. So they had that. Coach loved golf. I mean, that's where you could, anybody that knows him know that he loved to play golf. And I think that was some of Bob Ewing, one of my advisors who's big in the North Carolina scene. He still would take Coach out on the golf course, even when his health started to fade, and just give him a semblance of what he used to do. And like I said, he really started taking visitations probably about a year ago. But, it was one person just wasn't going to stop, and that was Phil. Phil was going over there and sit with Coach every week, even though he didn't really know what was going on, Phil would go sit with him. And, when you talk about the game of college all the time, you better put Phil Ford in there because nobody loves Smith more than him.
Phil Ford. Hey, I wanted to ask you about those legendary games at UNC when you guys would be in the offseason, and whether it was young and up-and-coming players or guys that were already in the league and what those games are like. Because I've heard, stories from other guys that have been a part of those games, Jerry, that, they were more competitive than some NBA All-Star games we've seen.
Yeah, it was, man. It was always trying to prove yourself. I remember my particular year coming into North Carolina as a freshman. George Lynch had just retired. Rick Fox was always coming back. And, these guys are, we proved ourselves against them. I think that we did the same thing as we left. We came back and made sure we gave back, in the summer to the younger guys that were in the program at that time. I think that's why we were so jointed at the hip. And, that was like that brotherhood, that system that Carolina.
Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry, we appreciate you, man. We're going to let you roll. The phone keeps rolling in and out. Great stuff from you today, man. We appreciate you remembering Coach Dean Smith and sharing some of your memories about the legendary Dean Smith here on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Get in the game on Twitter at 929 The Game.
On Facebook /929 The Game.
On YouTube /929 The Game.
On your phone, the free Audio Roadshow app.
The website, 929thegame.com.
Watch the game. Watch 929thegame.com.
And listen at 929thegame.com.
Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.